Luke 23:34. Luke chapter 23, verse 34. We all know these. I would hope we all know these ones. Luke chapter 23, verse 34. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. Luke 23, verse 43. And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. So let's go over to John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. John chapter 19. Verses 26 and 27. John chapter 19, verses 26 and 27. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and disciples standing by, whom he loved, he saith unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then saith he to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour that disciple took her into his own home. So that's the third. Matthew, turn back to Matthew, chapter 27. Nice little meandering through the Bible tonight. Matthew chapter 27, verse 46. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Back to John chapter 19. John chapter 19, verse 28. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, saith, I thirst. John chapter 19, verse 30. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. And finally back to Luke chapter 23. Luke chapter 23, verse 46. And when Jesus had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And having said thus, he gave up the ghost. Jesus used 7 metaphors to describe himself as the path to salvation. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the gate to salvation. I am the good shepherd. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the vine. By the way, he spoke to 7 people when he said those 7 things. Yeah, 7. The first significance, completion and perfection. God created the heavens and the earth and rested on the 7th day. The work was complete and perfect. Just like that. Completion on the cross. Christ spoke those 7 times and he died. His work was the perfect completion to prophecy. Exoneration and healing. Exoneration, that means that their sins have been forgiven. That's what exoneration means, okay? Everybody square on that. Every 7th year, Israelites were to cancel all debts. That was called the Jubilee. In the King James, when I was studying it, there was only one E at the end. So it was like Jubile. I said, what is the Jubile? Anyway, go ahead, it's Jubilee. So that's what the Jubilee means. We are to forgive each other 70 times 7, which means complete forgiveness in Jesus' day. It's not that we're supposed to keep account and forgive someone 490 times. That's not what it means. It just means we're supposed to never, that's never to be exhausted. 70 times 7. Elisha instructed Naaman to bathe 7 times to be healed from leprosy. So he had to dip himself in the Jordan River, which is notoriously filthy, but 7 times, and he was healed. Jesus healed the following 7 people on the 7th day. The man with the deformed hand, the man possessed by unclean spirit, Peter's mother-in-law. I always love it when the pastor's here and he talks about Peter healing his mother-in-law. Anyway, the woman was crippled by a spirit, a man with a swelling in his body, the lame man by the pool of Bethsaida, and the man born blind. So for signifying fulfillment of promises and oaths, I mentioned the rainbow, the 7 colors in the promise of the rainbow, that he would never flood the world again. And as a nice little aside to that, they're talking about global warming now. When Christ comes again, he's really going to warm things up, isn't he? Yeah. Abraham's oath at Beersheba, he made a gift of 7 lambs. And by the way, Beersheba, one of the translations means well of 7. The walls of Jericho fell 7 days, and on the 7th day, 7 priests blew 7 trumpets. Yeah. In Revelation, Christ assures the 7 churches. In Revelation, God's promise to save those names written in the book of life. The fulfillment of above promise by 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 angels, and 7 vials carried by 7 angels. Did you get that last one? The revelation of God's promise to save those names written in the book of life was fulfilled by the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, 7 angels, and 7 vials carried by 7 trumpets.
7.
Pardon me? Oh, I said 7 trumpets, 7 angels. Thank you. I love going through, I just absolutely love going through the Word. And when I was a baby Christian, we were at a conference. And the fellow speaking, the pastor speaking, he said that there's patterns in the Bible. And this was one of the biggest ones that I've come across in the Bible. Yeah. And it starts at the first of the Bible and it ends at the end of the Bible. So it's everlasting. So I just say again that I realized, and it didn't take me long to realize that not every time the word 7 was mentioned, that means divine. There's something divine about that. Right? Good. Well, that's all I had, folks. Thank you for being